Hey everyone, Alexa here from the blog theduvallhomestead.com, and today I'm going to share with you how to make easy einkorn sourdough discard tortillas. So let's get started. This is a great recipe to cook on the weeknight or, for lunch when you're looking to use up einkorn flour and sourdough that hasn't been fed. So I don't long ferment these because I don't really want them to be super fluffy and to have a big rise because they're tortillas. So I've actually been experimenting with tortillas for a few years now and had a hard time getting them the consistency that I wanted because I didn't want them to come out like naan bread or something really thick. So I finally figured out how to do that. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So in a mixing bowl, you're going to combine a 1/4 cup sourdough discard, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/2 cup of warm filtered water, 2 tablespoons of avocado oil, and just whisk that together with a fork. And then you're going to add your einkorn flour. So it's going to be 2 1/4 cup einkorn flour. And I always mix these kind of doughs together with my hands. I cook with einkorn flour a lot, and that's because it's a healthier grain for you, easier to digest, and just has more protein. Several reasons why it's just, in general, more beneficial for your body to eat it as opposed to regular wheat. We still eat regular wheat, but I love cooking with einkorn when I can. So if you don't have einkorn flour, this is not a 1-to-1 ratio when it comes to einkorn flour to regular, but it's pretty close. I would say einkorn flour, you usually need about 25% more of einkorn flour than regular flour. So if you don't have einkorn flour, I would use about 1 3/4 cup of regular flour. And what I always write in my blog whenever I'm writing sourdough recipes is because the recipe is not in grams, I'm showing you the measurement in cups. Just know that there's always going to be some variability, and even if it wasn't grams, there would still be variability. And my advice to you as a chef personally is just to learn how your dough is supposed to look when you're making different products with sourdough, because if you are always relying on specific gram measurements, it still may not work. Even if it worked for one person, it still may not work for you. So the best thing to do is become best friends with your dough and really understand it, respect it, and it will respect you back. Anyway, sorry for the tangent, but anyway, I'm giving you the measurements that have worked for me multiple times in my kitchen, and they will work for you too. But if your dough looks really, really wet, maybe you need a little more flour. If it's too dry, maybe you need a little more water. So you do want to look at my dough in the video and then compare it. But all that to say, the recipe card will be, actually it is on the blog, theduvallhomestead.com. I'll leave the link below. You should go over there and just print it out and keep it, because that way you have it for your countertop for whenever you want to make tortillas. But I'm going to roll them into balls, as you just saw me doing, and I kind of pat them with my hands. Like I give them a nice little pat to flatten them out, and then I roll them into the size of my tortilla. And meanwhile, I'm gonna preheat the cast iron on medium high. So it's very important that the cast iron is really, really hot. You want them to cook quickly. So if it's hot, they'll cook quick. You don't want them sitting on the cast iron at all. You do not want to put any oil on the cast iron. I made this mistake for a couple of years for some reason. I thought it was good to put oil, and I'm just strapping my baby on as well because he was getting a little fussy, and I was just wanting to finish these. This was a day that I was actually cooking these early in the afternoon, and that is another thing I love about this recipe is these tortillas they keep really well in the fridge, so you can make them and then keep them for like the week or even longer. So you just put them in the fridge already cooked, and then you pull them out and you just put them on a preheated cast iron to warm them back up. And it works perfectly. So I do want to note that I use a lot of flour on the countertop as I'm rolling it out, because you do want it to be thin, so you don't want to have it sticking to the rolling pin. Another important tip that you need to do when you're doing this is cover the tortillas with a towel in between. So when you finish one, you put it on a plate and cover it with a towel. So you see me removing the towel and then putting it back. This retains the moisture in the tortillas so they don't dry out. Again, I really struggled with this at first. My tortillas kept drying out, and these do not do that. So these will keep folding. You don't have to like quickly fold them or else they become crispy like some other tortillas that I've always tried. So. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this homemade tortilla recipe. Again, go to the blog post and print it out. If you're brand new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Every week I post a new video on farm-to-table recipes and homemade natural living. Thank you so much for stopping by the Duvall Homestead.